Fires and Magic, Rise of Spider-Man, Chapter 41, Rematch. 17 days remain. The Carolina Gardens were gorgeous today. Bright sun breathing sight into every flower present. Twilight laid across the marble seat with her violet irises fixed on her book, unable to suppress the wide smile on her face. Somewhere, a certain tiger skunk mix sniffs the air, runs. Then Zigzag picks up Twilight and gives her a big hug and says, "Somebody got laid tonight! Oh, congratulations, nerd girl!" And then Zigzag proceeded to run back to her office. Gotta love that girl. Memories of last night were fresh and fluent, but the mayor welcomed every second of it, wishing to relish that moment for the rest of her life. Her relationship with Pierre was truly blossoming into something beautiful. Twilight's cheeks burned to a shade of pink as her mind recollected every key detail of her session. And if it was anything like what I wrote for you, last night left such an impact on the Alicorn. She didn't care if she overslept this morning. Normally, that role was reserved for her lover, but he actually woke up early for the first time since they met. It was truly a bizarre morning, but it was well worth the sense of bliss. If not for Pierre's urgent matter, the couple would have remained together in bed and talked about last night. Rather, Twilight would have loved that. But the Alicorn smiled inwardly, knowing her stallion would return sooner or later. Gazing at the clear sky overhead, she suddenly whispering a prayer, sending her heart to Pierre. "Please stay safe." "Twilight?" Cadance called out, giggling at the mayor's belated response. "You've been daydreaming the entire morning. What's going on?" "Cadance," Twilight started, shaking her head afterward. It was no good, she decided. There was no way she could think straight at the moment. She still felt giddy from last night. But even more than that, there was an exhilarating thrill running through her. The feeling was always there, yet it felt wider, expanded, greater than it already was. It was almost like frustration, only the sorrow and anger replaced with raw joy. She was in love with Peter, she reflected inwardly as a warm shudder passed through her body. It was reminiscent to the raw emotions she felt when she confessed her feelings to Pierre. Twilight bit down her lip. She felt like screaming as loud as she could. The sentence could have been repeating to herself. It was love. No, it wasn't. But it was right for her to feel so strongly about it, especially after last night. Wow. This is the first time I've seen a genuine bad grammar error in this. Twilight remembered waking up as Pierre held her close, talking to her about all kinds of things and kissing her gently until she had fallen asleep. This was, of course, after they had finally figured out how this whole sex thing worked. Luckily, there was a pony whose special talent was in helping ponies learn how to have sex. Her name was Sex Toy. As opposed to her brother, Furry Dildo. You don't want to know what my special talent is. Brow furrowed as her lips curled into a frown. She wished she could have stayed awake, finding the time spent Pierre precious. Twilight brought her love over her cheek, feeling her eyes were damped again with joyful tears. So, you know what I would really love to see with this scene and Twilight discuss this with? Her friends! Oh, silly letter bringer. Don't you know? Now that Twilight has her boyfriend, she no longer needs her friends. And now that she's a princess, she doesn't need them. But even princesses have social lives. And even when you are dating and married, your girl still needs a social life. She can't. I mean, I know it would be nice for her to be stuck with you 24/7, but even she needs friends. Even you, as a male, need friends. It's so that way you don't always stagnate, you know? You need to go out and grow as a person. Remain devoted to each other, but have some outside connections. Have somebody to fall back on in case all things go south. And even if you are sure that things won't like these guys are, you still need friends to talk to help each other and form a safety net, and also to have somebody else to talk to when, there are other issues out there. Build relationships, build a social network, build Facebook. Like I said, build a social network. I bit down her lip. She felt like screaming as loud as she could. She wiped away her tears. Why did Pierre make her feel this way? And how could she make it never stop? Cadence is giggling right to her ears, prompting Twilight to hastily wipe away her face. It's nothing, Cadence. I just feel happy. Happy and I move along. Happy! Twilight conceded. Even embarrassed, the sheer giddiness didn't go away. Young Alucard found herself smiling brightly. Cadence, I'm in love. No, wait, that's a stroke. No, wait, it's love! She said loudly, her eyes glaring. I don't want to repeat myself, but I mean it. I'm in love. Feels strange. Pierre and I made love last night. Her face burned. I've never felt like this before. A part of me is so happy, yet I feel so scared. I don't want this to end. Is this normal? Am I getting ahead of myself? Kate smiled warmly at her sister-in-law, placing her hoof at her shoulder. This is perfectly natural, Twilight. Don't worry. The first time you give your body to your special sun pony is almost nerve-wracking. But as long as you do so honestly, the reward is everlasting. Do you have any regrets about last night? Cadence giggled as Twilight shook her head defiantly. Then there's nothing to worry about. Take it one step at a time and you two will be fine. I can't be happier for you, really. Twilight threw her brow. You don't sound surprised at all. I might be the goddess of love, but it's always easier to spot when ponies are concerned. Cadence calmly answered, shifting her light violet irises to the clear sky overhead. It sounds silly, but the moment I met Pierre that you described to me, I knew he was special to you. You both cared so much for each other back then. Looking at you two now, you're practically inseparable. She paused before lowering her gaze back to the mirror by her side. I know it's frustrating, but love brings out the best in us. Pierre's doing that for you right now. I know you're doing the same for him. And at least your first time isn't with some sort of stupid, buff, macho football team in the middle of your whole entire apartment and going around and hoping to find out what one of these football players actually has something to satisfy you with, but come to find out every single one of them was about as limp as a wet noodle! Which member of the football team was your first, Cadence? Like I said, the football team. You mean the all 16 members? The entire... Both the offensive and defensive. You mean every single... Both the linebacker and the quarterback. All of them? Yep, and not a single one of them could keep it going. That's another reason why I love you, brothers, Twilight. Shining armor is the... Okay, do I want to delete the rest of this? Twilight found herself nodding as Cadence spoke. Thank you, Cadence. I just want to make sure I wasn't doing anything wrong. Her eyes sought her, revealing the hurt that buried in her spirit. I love Pierre so much. He's amazing. He's sweet, cute, protective, a little annoying, overpowered. But I can't stop thinking about him at times. Both mares edged closer. Yes. Joining together for a warm embrace. Yes! Yes! Hey, they're sisters-in-law, not sisters. So, this is perfectly okay in my porno. Eventually departed. Staring smiled before Twilight's gaze fell to the side. I should do something nice for him tonight. Raising her brow, Cadence made her way to her host. I have an idea. Come with me. Tilting her head to the side, Twilight did as she was told. But Cadence stopped at her tracks, prompting the younger Alucard to do the same, but helping Quincy. Before the librarian could say anything, Cadence turned to her face with a mischievous grin on her face. Promise me you'll invite me to your wedding. Twilight blushed visibly, pouting. Cadence, Of course I'll invite you to the wedding. You seem to be the only friend I have anymore. Peter chuckled. Wait a sec! Wait. Time out. I have to ask. Is this going to be another Peter is the awesome and we should be paying more attention to him than the girls that I think a lot of my audience have come here for? Yes. Okay. Next question. Does the following what I'm about to read have anything to do with the rest of this plot? You know, this big world-ending, oh my god, a demon is incoming plot that you have set up? Or is this more pointless filler that we have to sit through for the next few days? Yes. Okay. Fast forward. Double speed. Peter chuckled at the strange tingle he felt at his chest as he trod through the four of path destination he had been at this all morning. Very fresh at the new start he had given. Unfortunately, the president question was not as quite as fast as out of the earth or the bugle, meaning that everybody was not quite up to speed on the events of the coronation or what happened afterward. He did receive a few stares from the local villagers. Peter knew the news would eventually spread through the equestrian by tonight and tomorrow morning. Peter Parry Punk revealed to Spider-Man was now known as Princess Twilight Sparkle's Knight. It was given the title Prince. It was surreal, even now, but life was going well for the stallion. At least Parker looked at return from his vacation. In the meantime, Peter was already enjoying his new life to the fullest. Bear waited to start it when the lovely homes of his mare Twilight. Last night it was truly something special. At first for both parties, Peter's face grew hot. They made love. A few months ago, his mind wouldn't even register such a thought. But last night it only felt natural, as they were worlds or realities apart. They had become one, and their hearts were mended together, formed by their trust and love for each other. Peter laughed outwardly, not caring how immensely giddy he felt. The stallion was head over heels in love with his mare. Nothing could change that now as long as he fit. However, his eyes widened once his path ended, with the ghastly gorge came into view. The drop was perilous, and the scale was great. Peter nodded, finally managed to repel the memories of last night for the moment. There was something needed to take care of first. Separated to the edge of the nearest cliff, the stallion brought himself over his eyes and skinned the environment to the greatest of ability. This place is huge. I wonder where Spitfire could be. Peter murmured, his brow furrowing in the canyon. He looked at his gates, hopeful that he could find the Pegasus above the castle, or rather beneath or within. Fortunately, he got a swift, spotting some pony on the other side of the ranch a few clicks from his position. Her coat was bright yellow, slightly darker than Flare's size, but her mane and tail were fiery orange, menacing their latter part of her namesake. She wore what appeared to be a high-rank military uniform, complete with violet sunglasses and a wearable badge. When the stallion glanced back at his backpack where his costume was stored and nodded, presuming Spitfire wasn't too far behind. Let's find out what he wants. Hopefully it isn't anything serious. Leaping into the castle, Peter landed on a boulder, bounding from one wall to the next. He reached the branch and landed on top of it, managing to spring from it. He soared for several meters before his momentum finally ceased. But Peter pressed himself onto the wall to keep himself from falling and climbed to the rest of the way. Once he was directly beneath Spitfire, the stallion threw his legs overhead, flipping around the ridge and landing perfectly on its two high hills behind the mare. Peter's eyes widened at the sight of the black gym bag he landed near. His early suspicion regarding the Wonderbolt's uniform no doubt confirmed. Peter smirked, racing around behind a pair of black silent stays. Nice moves, what do you do for an encore? As Peter lowered himself onto the descending persistent on all four hosts, Spitfire raised her shades and placed them on behind her ears. She playfully punched his shoulder. Thanks for coming, dude. I thought you almost didn't show up. Her glossy, sunlight iris is white in the late realization. Before long, Spitfire straightened her posture, threw her hoof over her forehead and salute. I'm sorry, sir. That was rude of me. Please accept my apology, Prince Parker. What? No, don't do that, Peter stammered, wringing so defensively while his face turned beet red. Just like that, Peter was brought back to the place of reality. While the Fells and Ponyville wasn't brought up to speed about the news, Spitfire certainly was. Perhaps due to their connections to other celebrities, being one herself, Peter Parker was no longer the average pony, and that was an understatement, for he was one of the highest-ranking individuals on the equestrian now. As Twilight chose a night couple with its double prince status, Peter answered only to Celestia, Luna, King, and Shining Armor, and Twilight herself. It would take some time to get used to these sort of reactions, but Peter smiled, refusing to act differently because of his elevated status. Nothing to say, Spitfire. We're friends, so Peter works just fine. It's embarrassing if you call me anything else, the stallion honestly stated. Pausing the mare to lower her salute and smile, Peter raised his brow. That was a complete 180, you know. If I didn't know better, I could have sworn you were a drill sergeant. The stallion tapped the bottom of his chin with himself. Then again, you are a captain. You are wearing a military uniform. But you're also unassuming considering how laid back you are. Spitfire shrugged. You know what they say. You're a completely different pony when you're at your job. In my business, you can't be too nice to the recruits. Otherwise, you won't train as hard. So he grinned. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Peter closed his eyes and scratched the back of his ear, nodding. Ain't that the truth? Placing his backpack onto the ground, the stallion raised his turns gaze in the mirror. So, what was it that you wanted to talk about? You know, I want to compliment this fic that it agrees with me with Spitfire, because you people remember back when Wonderbolts Academy came out, everybody was freaking shocked that, hey, Spitfire's acting like a drill sergeant. But she was so nice, and relaxed and happy when she saw Rainbow Dash. And now she's acting like she doesn't even recognize her. Yeah. Because that's called favoritism. If Spitfire acted like she knew Rainbow Dash, the other cadets would be a little bit pissed that it seems like Spitfire would be knowing Rainbow Dash, and Rainbow Dash would have a harder life in the academy. Because people would think that that Rainbow Dash didn't get there on her own merits. 2. Outside of the field, you could be a completely different person than you are inside. I mean, shoot. At work, I'm not nearly this sexually aroused or insulting. A spark formed in the mayor's face. You don't waste time. I remember now why I thought you were a pretty cool pony in the first place. She paused, deferring your gaze to the castle's below. To be honest, I had something in mind, but you sort of drew things out of whack for me when you revealed your identity became a knight. Spitfire chuckled briefly. If I knew you were going to become a prince, I would have stayed for the rest of the party, but now I feel awkward for what I'm about to ask you. Before Pierre could ask about what he was referring to, the mayor raised his chin back and received a small golden medal. And right to the center was the wonderful insignia. Spitfire offered it to the stallion and sent her free hoof out to him. This may not seem like much, but I would like to make it an honorary member of the Wonderbolts. She laughed nervously. You saved me the trouble of asking you for your real name. So what do you say, Pierre? Interested? I doubt you would be since you're royalty now, but Pierre reached out and assembly ejected the bell from the Pegasus and all the while placing his free hoof on her shoulder. No, this is pretty cool, Spitfire. Thanks, this means a lot. Oh no! Don't stop it, honorary Wonderbolt. Please. Why not just give him all the keys to the city? Why not make him Grand Poobah of the Water Buffalo? Why not give him big accolades? Why not also give him the award of the biggest dick? You might as well be doing that! He removed his hoof once the mayor raised her brow out. Oblivious, he was staring intently as given Spitfire blushed brightly. Rubbing her hoof over his shoulder was burned. However, Pierre shook his head, and much to the mayor's surprise, he offered the medal back to her. He smiled wide. Sorry, Spitfire, but I can't accept this. I'm not even the Pegasus to begin with. Rainbow Dash deserves this more than me. I'll fast for her when it says he's quite a bit since that day in Manhattan. Must only be an offer if you grab her a shot. The corner of her lips curled, disforcing a smirk. You really care about Rainbow Dash, don't you? Tell you what, if you're completely sure she's ready, I'll send her an invitation. Pierre's expression brightened. He placed the medal back in Spitfire's position, all the while shaking her host frantically with a cheeky grin on his face. Thanks, Spitfire. I know Rainbow Dash will appreciate this. I still work hard, I'll know it. Spitfire grinned, giving the stallion a wide smile over her teeth. No problem, Pierre. I've been watching Dash for a while now. I guess I needed to hear from somebody else. She tried to the edge of the cliff and pointed down towards the castle below. A strong gust passed by Pierre, whipping by their manes and tails about. Anyway, we've never had a chance to finish our race in Manhattan. Right now, I want a rematch. The Gaslight Gorge is pretty big, but it's straightforward. One big circle. First to finish this wins. You in? Glancing out to the side, the butter's backpack rested, Pierre chuckled. So that's why you wanted me to bring my costume. He was silent, as if contemplating his answer. Fortunately, his smile provided some positive reinforcement. I don't see why not. I had a blast racing you last time. That is before the blunt crash broke my leg. That part sucked. But everything before that, awesome. Pierre, white in his late realization, he reached out to Spitfire. She rummaged through the gym bag, prompting the mayor to sit down and question on me. Hey, how did you find out my secret identity? I know it doesn't matter now, but I'm quite curious. Spitfire carefully slid her violet shades into one of her side compartments of her bag before staring at a glance of Pierre. I was wondering if you were going to bring that up. Well, after you stopped the blunt and fell through the stand, I honestly thought you were dead. Then I saw you crawl your way through the rubble. I didn't know what to think, but you swung off and passed me without saying a word. It was then that I realized that you was just a magical copy. Its movements weren't nearly as fluid as yours. They were rough, jagged. Having retrieved her signature goggles, the Spitfire's expression grew stern all of a sudden. I had a clear view from an angle. I saw Princess Luna pull you from the rubble. You lost your master in the crash landing, I guess. I recognized your face because you were the only stallion booked in the special reserves with Rainbow Dash's friends at the hotel. You seemed like a pretty cool guy, so I decided to keep quiet and play along. Her gaze softened and Spitfire managed to smile, albeit briefly. It was the least I could do for you after that stupid pyro malfunction. Peter waved his hoof dismissively as he slid his costume over his frame. Don't worry about it. Accidents happen. No pony got hurt. And all that matters is in the end. Just as he was about to put it on a trademark mask, the stallion paused, giving the Pegasus an earnest smile. Seriously, thank you for keeping my secret, Spitfire. I haven't known you that long, but I can tell you can make a great trustworthy friend. He chuckled seamlessly. We are friends, right? Taking it back, the Pegasus found it difficult to respond, but her body allowed to simply nod and smile. You're pretty weird, dude, but I think we'll get along just fine. Her attire was skin tight, forcing the mare to snuggle her way into her wardrobe. Peter found himself staring, especially when Spitfire began to wiggle her tail through the costume's hole. He quickly turned away, slid his mask on, using it to hide his beet red face. However, Spitfire caught wind of this. Instead of reacting, she grinned inwardly before pulling her mask and goggles over her face. For a total dork, he's kinda cute. I wonder how you Princess Twilight feel about staring at her. Maybe I'll ask him in a few weeks if his personality holds up. Clearing her throat, Spitfire puts that thought to the back of her mind and trotted over to the cliff. She glanced back at Spider-Man, winking. Are you ready? I have to say that one of the things that I'm so grateful for is reading a harem anime rather than pony. Hang on for a sec. Pierce strained, stressing as his neck split. He lowered his torso and extended his forearms, holding it persistent for several seconds. Instantly, Pierce threw his legs into the air, flipping it as perfectly descending persistent. Spitfire straightened the sight immediately before settling against it on the path ahead. Spider-Man tore her along the edge, oblivious to the blood that threatened burn for Spitfire's mask. Whenever you want. It's been quite some time since I felt like this, Spitfire grinned as she lowered her body, prompting Peter to do the same. Her heart raced, filling the air with a sense of giddiness and nervousness. She bent down her lip. Why do I feel like this all of a sudden? It's like I'm a teenager again. Exasperated, Spitfire shook her head. Remember, first one backwards, ready, set, go. She stole one final cast of the stallion out of the corner where I guess it's my fault for having the soft spot for dirty types. Letting everything go, Spitfire smiled widely and yelled at the top of her lungs. Both ponies leant over the cliff and dove into the free fall. Spitfire spread her wings and flew into 800 flight before speeding off under her own power. Spider-Man neared the ground with great velocity, but he saw a strand of webbing out himself at the last moment and poured all of his momentum into a swing. Eventually, he caught up with the mirror, allowing Stelly to break through from his webbing and fire a new strand into the distance. Pierce landed on the side of the wall, but he maintained his peace in the form of a two-leg high-speed sprint. The pair quickly approached a pair of stone pillars in the midst of the canyon. Peter found several large holes in the wall, following and drawing near, forcing the stallion to flip from his position instead of Spitfire. As he bounded from one side of one pillar to the next, the mare followed closely behind in flight, swaying past one stone in rapid succession. Once at the end of the pass, Spitfire smiled confidently before passing her opponent and flying into a dark cave that approached. Spider-Man landed on the top of the last stone pillar, saw a strand of webbing into the cave and swung out to the Wonderbolt. The inside of the cave was moist, drenched with damp darkness, but both ponies remained undeterred. Spitfire soared through the air, with Spider-Man swinging her hot pursuit. At that moment, Peter relinquished his webbing and saw it straight across the vicinity. In one swift African motion, and a turn of the wrist, Spider-Man zipped across the cave, cutting into the distance between himself and his opponent considerably. Spitfire glanced back, her eyes widening upon realizing how close Peter was to her. As the light at the end of the cave grew brighter, Pegasus dashed ahead, but stopped dead in her tracks due to the wall that obstructed her path. She turned right just sharply as Peter exited the cave. However, his reaction was far quicker to Spitfire's in regard to the obstacle. While his body faced the approaching wall, he saw a strand of webbing from his right hoof and swung past his recovering Pegasus, all the while maintaining speed. Spitfire furrowed her brow, frowning at the stallion. It's just like a main hand. He's able to react at the last possible second to anything and not lose a step. Her lips curled into a smile before she opened her wings and danced under the costume stallion. I still won't let him beat me. Hanging onto his webbing with both foes, Spider-Man swung into the greatest of his ability before throwing his legs forward, thus sending his body flying. However, his cranium wrong previously, forcing the stallion to defer from his path. Suddenly, a large fountain of hot, steamy water rushes from the ground, causing Peter to throw his hose up to seal the face for bright heat that went over him. His mask list is sweating in response to the second ringing that's going off in his head. Extending both of his hose, Spider-Man fired two strands of webbing and yanked himself away from another geyser explosion. But in response to his single sixth sense for danger, the stallion contorted his body at a perfect angle and narrowly avoided a third fountain of gusty boiling water. Behind his position, Spitfire sped away a ray of geyser erupts. She tilted her body to the side to avoid the first, turned sharply to avoid the second, and with her gather speed, the Pegasus disappeared in a blazing burr, blazing through the boiling water like a bullet. Spider-Man landed at the bottom of the castle, his evasive maneuvers for the geyser having stopped all of his momentum, but the goal was close as his brief climb away. However, Peter glanced back to the source of the booming sound that caused his ears to perk, and found Spitfire flying at full speed towards the finishing line, a fiery trail following her loyalty. Spider-Man saw his strand towards the end of the cliff, but the moment his webbing glanced up to the rock, Spitfire over across the plain skid to the halt, falling to the rest who was faster than her too. Lowering his head, the stallion landed hardly under his breath. He pulled himself to the edge of the cliff, but the moment he reached the top, he found Spitfire waiting for him. Her hoof extended, Peter reached out and ascended the gesture, allowing the mare to pull the stallion back to solid ground. Pulling her goggles off, Spitfire unmasked and speared to the scene, but both ponies shared a smile before joining into the light laughter. The mare wiped her sweat from her forehead with a hoof. That was fun. You guessed that I missed a move, but it looks like I went today. Her smile faltered at the least. Would you believe me if I told you that was the most fun I had in years? His mane was stretched and sweat as it stuck to his face, but Peter managed to smile. I lost, but I had a blast too. He shook his head, freeing his mane from his face. I'll take you up on your train for sure. If I'm going to be a knight, I have to find some way to match up with the likes of your speed, or Raymond Dassus. His mind chuckled. Plus, this gives you a reason to tinker and laugh for a while. The word tinker is funny. As Spitfire guided her the breath, she disrobed and threw her across the back of the tip before sliding her face back over her eyes. Don't sell your source so slick. You're really good. Throwing her bag strap over her neck and shoulders, Spitfire levitated herself from the ground and hovered slightly. I can see why you and Dash are called, so you're pretty cool. You had a lot of guts too. Once Peter discarded his costume, he slid his backpack and glanced at his big assess. A lot of guts? My girlfriend Twilight always tells me I'm reckless and stupid. Is that the same thing? A gentle breeze rushed between the pair. Peter glanced away towards the direction of the village before setting his hazel gaze on Spitfire's surprisingly cool orange eyes. A familiar fairly stirred in his stomach, something that once occurred regularly once his arrival in Equestria. Peter found another friend, a very trustworthy one with that, and he wanted nothing more than to cherish it and see it grow. His mind grew, and citing his stallion for having such a teasy thought, but Peter grinned, ignoring his cynical side long enough to extend his hoof to the mirror. Thanks again for keeping my Spitfire a secret. If you ever need anything, or just want to hang out, let me know. I'm not too hard to find. Without saying a word, Spitfire reached out and bumped her hose with Peter. Their bond had been quite formed, and mutual respect and trust. While she earned a figurative eight, they were considered equals in their eyes. Spitfire gave the stallion a friendly wink before jerking up to the sky, her fiery tail following close behind. Peter watched this mare, so remembers to disappear into the distance. Nodding, he tried his way back to Plainville, knowing that he'd meet the Wonderbolt again much sooner than later. Peter's eyes widened suddenly. I the whole day ahead of me. I should hurry back to Carol. I finished my experiment. He quickly his face to a steady dog. Unbeknownst to the snout, Spitfire watched him from behind the cloud. I now see why Rainbow talks about it so much. Exasperated, he scratched the back of her head. He said, this is a rock, but it doesn't matter, so even though Dad has a crest on him. Spitfire paused, smiling as the temperature of her face rose. I'd be lying if I said I didn't either. Striking, the biggest is resumed to fight mentally, knowing how much happier she was all of a sudden. A few hours had passed, but the sun was still up and slowly beginning to descend into the horizon. Peter sat diligently in the Cadillac basement, space of sweat forming over his forehead as he sternly watched the white substance of the test tube boil to a simmer. A jade crystal sat next to it, along with a bowl of jewels to the ground to the dust. The stack of notes behind the stallion's seat was progressively growing larger by the hour. The procedure was delicate and met with several features thus far, but Peter stayed the course. Knowing he would eventually find successful with his new wine formula. It's also no reason to see his project Peter to turn the heat under his test tube off, facing the opposite side of the room. It's open. Phew! Woo! A door suddenly slid open, a smile formed on Peter's face. The sight of his presence was quite a welcome to his eyes. Twilight closed the door with romantic once he made inside the room. Silly? The mare greeted the stallion, and it was a smile of his own. Bryce sighed, putting his son's face the same. She trotted over to his position, without giving Peter a chance to stand from his seat. The outcast stood on her hind legs, placed their hoods on behind the silent shoulders, synced their lips with his. They eventually parted, both their faces with a shade of pink. Peter chuckled, brushing a sofa over his mare's soft, bright cheek. Well, what was that for? He paused, kissing the spot between her neck and chin. What can I do to make it happen more often? Twilight giggled, taking her brace on her stallion. No reason, just happy to see you. She glanced at the scientific equipment on the table. Any luck stimulating the formula? Peter shook his head. Not quite. Triggers in the quality and quantity of the crystal ingredient. Too much and it doesn't stick. Too little and nothing happens. I think I've finally figured out the exact amount I need to add. I won't know for sure until tonight or tomorrow. Guess the next second time. Is you come to be my beautiful lab assistant? If so, you need to put your lab coat and black boots. Otherwise, it's just weird. Try nuzzles inside of his head. Tanty, I would normally set that offer, but I do have a surprise for you. Well, two surprises, actually. I'll tell you the second later. But first, we're going to the Crystal Empire tonight to have dinner and a game with shining armor and Keenan's. She giggled at her stallion surprise expression. There is a chance we'll be spending the night there. Is that okay? Grace is giving the mare swiftly affection pick on the lips. My first day is Prince and I'm already getting a day off? Sweet. What game we're playing? So I caught her hooves gleefully. Ogres and Obulettes! Pictionary! Suppose that works too. Keens and I used to play it all the time when I was a fall. This will be so much fun! A horn glowed, causing Peter to disappear from his seat and reappear by the doors of the flash of light. He managed to react and land on all four hooves before he could protest. Twilight nuts and winging standing in the room. Hurry, clean yourself up. We'll leave as soon as you're ready. If you behave, I'll give you your surprise tonight. Peter did as he told, all the while a smile on his face. Twilight seemed excited about the get-together. He was more than willing to make his mare happy. However, he was worried. Not about making a bad precedent or potentially taking out Twilight's big brother. Peter sighed lower his head. Put it simply, he stuck to Pictionary. Even during times of leisure and fun, the Parker look stuck it to Peter once again. Twilight followed his course, making sure he stayed on track. The young couple tried down the hallway. Trixie, I wonder. Don't you dare! How fast can you go? Trixie, didn't we try this with Mykin? Remember? I don't think we want to. But little did you know, you heard the case of the light upper bear in the vicinity. She pressed her finger across the yellow and white straight from the light and fluff. Once the princess of the night were out right, the bear's shining and eyes surprised on Arbitrate's face. Spring on her face! Whoa. Trixie, will you please give me back my finger speed remote? I need that! No, Trixie just likes watching you squirm. Especially after that skit yesterday. You